Journey to the West, an audio drama series. Chapter 38, Part 1. We speak of the Crown Prince of Black Rooster Kingdom who bid farewell to the great sage and soon made it back to the city. He indeed did not head for the gate to the royal court and dare not announce his arrival. Instead, he went straight to the back gate where several eunuchs were on guard. They saw the Crown Prince coming and dared not get in his way, so he was let through. Splendid Crown Prince! Pressing the horse with his legs, he burst inside and made his way to Jinxiangting, the brocade fragrance pavilion. What he saw was the queen sitting inside the pavilion with dozens of concubines on both sides waving fans. The queen, you see, was leaning against a decorated fence, crying. What was there to cry about, you might ask? It turned out that around the fourth watch, she also had a dream. She remembered half of it, but the rest was a blur which put her in deep thoughts. The Crown Prince got off the horse and knelt down before the pavilion, calling, "Mother!" The queen forced a smile on her face and replied, "My child, what joy, what joy! For 2 or 3 years you've been in the front court with your king father for lessons. We weren't able to see each other, and I missed you terribly. How did you find the time to see me today? It truly is tremendous joy, tremendous joy. My child, why do you sound so sad? Your king father is in his advanced years now. One day the dragon will return to the emerald seas and the phoenix to high heavens. You will then inherit the imperial throne. What is there to be displeased about?" The Crown Prince kowtowed to ask, "Mother, let me ask you, who is the person on the dragon throne? Who is the person using the royal we?" The queen heard that and said, "This child has lost his mind. The emperor is your king father. Why are you asking?" The Crown Prince kowtowed again and said, "I beg mother pardon the crimes of your son before I dare ask another question. Otherwise, I dare not." The queen said, "What crime is there between mother and son? I pardon you, I pardon you. Hurry up and tell me." The Crown Prince then said, "Mother, let me ask you, how is the intimacy between husband and wife in the palace compared to 3 years ago?" The queen heard that, and her soul flew from her body. Hurriedly she came out of the pavilion and held her son tightly in her arms, asking in tears, "My child, we have not seen each other for so long. Why are you coming to my palace to ask about this?" The Crown Prince said angrily, "Mother, if you have something to say, just hurry up and say it. If not, you will jeopardize this whole affair." Only then did the queen send her servants away before whispering in tears, "This matter, if you, my child, had not asked, I would have no way of knowing why, not even upon my death. But since you have asked, listen to what I have to say. 3 years ago, he was warm and loving. 3 years later, he is now cold as ice. I asked him to bed with sincere words. He said old age and frail health was why he couldn't get it up." The Crown Prince heard that and freed himself from her arms before climbing up the saddle. The queen clutched on him and asked, "My child, what is going on? Why are you leaving without finishing the conversation?" Prostrating before her once again, the Crown Prince said, "Mother, I dare not say. After morning court today, by imperial order, I brought my hawks and hounds out of the city for a hunting trip. By chance, I came across a divine monk from the land of the East who was sent by the emperor to seek scriptures. He has an eldest disciple named Sun Xingzhe, who is an expert at subduing monsters. It is from them that I learned my king father had already died inside the 8-sided glass well of the imperial garden. The Taoists then transformed into a fake king father and usurped the throne. At the 3rd watch last night, King Father sent a dream to ask the monks to enter the city and capture the monster. Your son dare not trust him fully, so I came specifically to ask Mother about it. And just now Mother told me such things, so he must be a monster spirit." The queen said, "Oh, my child, it's just something you heard from outsiders. Why are you taking it for the truth?" The Crown Prince explained, "Your son dare not take it for the truth. However, King Father left an item of identification with him. The queen then asked what the item was, and the crown prince took out the white jade tablet inlaid with gold from his sleeve and handed it to her. The queen recognized it was a treasure of the king from the old days, so she couldn't help but burst to tears, calling, "My dear lord, if you've been dead for 3 years, how come you never came to see me? Why did you go see the divine monk first and the crown prince after?" The crown prince asked, "Mother, what do you mean by that?" The queen answered, "Oh, my child, at around the 4th watch, I also had a dream. I dreamt of your king father standing before me, drenched. He personally told me that he had died, and his ghostly soul had asked the Tang monk to subdue the fake emperor and salvage his former life. All I can remember is what he said, but half of it made no sense to me. I was left to wonder. Who could have thought that you would come with such words and present the treasure? I will take care of it for now. You shall go plead to the divine monk so he can get it done quickly. If he indeed can sweep away the evil aura and differentiate right from wrong, it will be your way of repaying your king father for raising you." The crown prince quickly got on the horse and left through the back gate, heading away from the city. It truly was. Holding back tears, he kowtowed to bid farewell to his royal mother. In deep sorrow, he prostrated to return a message to the Tang monk. Soon enough, he was out of the city gate and got off the horse right before the entrance of Baoli Monastery. The soldiers received the crown prince as the red sun was sinking. The crown prince ordered the soldiers to stay put before entering the mountain gate alone. Straightening his clothes and crown, he came to plead to Xingzhe. The Monkey King swayed forward from the main hall as the crown prince went on both knees and said, "Master, I have returned." Xingzhe held his arms and said, "Please rise. Have you managed to ask anyone after you entered the city?" The crown prince answered, "I have asked my mother about it." He then recounted everything that took place. Smiling, Xingzhe said, "If he is this cold, I bet he's a transformation of some icy creature. Worry not, Elder Sun shall wipe the thing out for you. But it's getting too late now to make a move. Please return for the time being and wait for my arrival tomorrow." The crown prince kowtowed to say, "Master, I shall remain at your service here so we can head back together tomorrow." Xingzhe replied, Bad idea. If we head into the city with you, the monster will grow suspicious. Instead of a chance meeting, he will say that you invited Elder Sun here. Wouldn't that give him a reason to blame you?" The crown prince replied, "Even if I head back to the city now, he would still blame me." Xingzhe asked, "For what reason?" The crown prince explained, "I left morning court with a mission before bringing all the horsemen, hawks, and hounds outside the city. For an entire day we have not caught a single thing. What do I have to present to the throne? If he accuses me of incompetence and sends me to jail, who will you contact when you come into the city tomorrow? You have no acquaintance in the ranks." Xingzhe said, "What's the problem with that? If only you had brought it up earlier, I would have found something for you." Splendid great sage. Look at him showing off his tricks in front of the crown prince. With a leap, he jumped into the clouds. Making the right gesture and reciting the true words, he summoned the mountain god and tuilary of soil into mid-air as they bowed to ask, "Great sage, what orders do you have for these humble deities you summoned?" Xingzhe answered, "Elder Sun has accompanied the Tang monk to this place. We would like to capture an evil monster spirit, but unfortunately, the crown prince dare not return to court without game from the hunt. I would like to ask a favor from you. Quickly bring over some deer, rabbit, walking beast, and flying birds of all types so he can be on his way." The mountain god and tuilary of soil heard that and dare not disobey. They then asked how much prey was needed. The great sage answered, "Not a lot, just a few is enough." The gods then ordered the ghost soldiers in their command to create a dark beast-gathering wind. They captured some pheasants, deer, foxes, rabbits, tigers, leopards, and wolves, totaling over 1,000, and presented them to Xingzhe. Xingzhe said, "Elder Sun doesn't need them. You can hamstring them all and leave them by the 40-li roadside. That way, they won't need to unleash the hawks and hounds. When they bring the game back to the city, it will count towards your merit." The gods did as they were told before dispersing the dark wind and leaving the animals by the roadside. Only then did Xingzhe come down from his cloud to tell the crown prince, "Please head back, your highness. There is game on the road. All you have to do is to pick them up." The crown prince saw him performing all the magic in mid-air, so there was no reason not to believe him. He then kowtowed and bid farewell. Afterwards, he came out of the mountain gate and ordered the troops that it was time to head back to the city. What they saw by the road were countless wild animals. The soldiers did not have to release their hawks and hounds, and instead grabbed the game in loud cheers. They all said it was a great blessing from His Highness the Crown Prince, not knowing it was really the magical feat of Elder Sun. Look at them singing songs of victory as they returned to the city together. On the other hand, Xingzhe returned to guarding Sanzang. The monks of the temple saw them having such an intimate relationship with the crown prince, and how dare they act with disrespect. And so, once again, they arranged vegetarian meals and kept the tongue monk properly served. They rested in the meditation room as before. When it was approaching the first watch, Xingzhe had something on his mind that kept him awake. He rolled over and got up before heading to Tang Monk's bed, calling, "Master." The elder was not yet asleep at the time. However, he knew Xingzhe liked to make a scene out of nothing, so he feigned to be asleep and did not respond. Xingzhe thereby ran his hands over the elder's bald head, shaking him violently. "Master, why are you already asleep?" The tongue monk snapped. "You naughty one, why aren't you sleeping this late at night? What are you shouting about?" Xingzhe said, "Master, I've got a matter that I want to discuss with you." The elder asked, "What matter?" Xingzhe explained, "Earlier, I bluffed to the crown prince about how my skills are higher than mountains and deeper than seas. I said that capturing the monster spirit would be as easy as taking something out of a bag. All I had to do was reach out a hand and the thing will be between my fingers. But I can't fall asleep, because when I think about it, it is actually quite hard." The tongue monk then said, "If you say it's too hard, just don't capture the monster then." Xingzhe said, "We still have to capture him, but there is no justification for it." The tongue monk said, "You monkey head are not making sense. The monster spirit usurped someone else's throne. What do you mean we can't justify capturing him?" Xingzhe answered, "You, honorable sir, only know how to chant scriptures, worship Buddha, and sit in meditation. When have you read the legal code established by Xiao He? As the saying goes, take the loot when you take the looter. The monster has been emperor for 3 years and never gave himself away. He slept with the concubines of the 3 palaces and enjoyed his time with the civil and military officials. Elder Sun may have the power to capture him, but I cannot convict him of any crime." The tongue monk asked, "Why not?" Xingzhe answered, "Even if he were a gourd without an opening, he could still roll on the floor. If he declared, 'I am the king of Black Rooster Kingdom, for what crime against heaven are you arresting me?' What evidence do I have to argue against him?" The tongue monk asked, "How do you intend to solve that problem then?" Xingzhe laughed and said, "Elder Sun has a plan already, but you, honorable sir, might hold me back with your favoritism." The tongue monk asked, "What do you mean, my favoritism?" Xingzhe answered, "Bajie is born foolish, so you're a bit partial to him." The tongue monk asked, "How am I being partial?" Xingzhe said, "If you're not partial, try to have some courage now and stay here with only Sha monk by your side. Wait while Elder Sun and Bajie head into the city of Black Rooster Kingdom and find that imperial garden. We will open up the glass well and fish out the remains of the emperor so we can wrap them up in our luggage. When we enter the city tomorrow, we shall put aside the issue of our travel documents. Instead, the moment we see the monster, I will hit him with the rod. If he has anything to say, we shall show him the remains and say this is the man you murdered. And then we will have the crown prince come mourn his father, the queen come out to identify her husband, and all the civil and military officials meet their master. That's when Elder Sun and my brothers make our move." Only this way can we have a fair trial to proceed with." The town monk heard that and was secretly delighted, saying, "I only fear that Bajie won't be willing to go." Xingzhe laughed and said, "See, I told you there is favoritism here. How do you know he won't be willing? Even if he's just like you who refused to respond when I called, all it takes is half a shichen to get it done. When I go, all it takes is my invincible little tongue. Then speak not of 猪八戒 of 8 prohibitions, even if it's 猪九戒 of 9 prohibitions, I will find a way to have him go along with me all the same." The tongue monk said, "Fine then, go get him however you wish." Xingzhe thereby left his master and came straight to Bajie's bedside, calling, "Bajie, Bajie." The fool was exhausted from traveling on the road. The moment his head went down, all he knew was to snore, and no one could wake him up. And so Xingzhe grabbed him by the ears and bristles before yanking him up and calling, "Bajie!" The fool was still in a daze, so Xingzhe repeated himself. The fool replied, "Go to sleep. Stop playing around. We still have to get back on the road tomorrow." Xingzhe said, "I'm not playing around. I've got some business that you and I shall take care of." Bajie asked, "What business?" Xingzhe said, "Did you hear what the Crown Prince said?" Bajie replied, "We never met, so I never heard what he said." Xingzhe said, "The Crown Prince told me that the monster spirit has a treasure that's powerful unlike any other. When we enter court tomorrow, there is bound to be a fight. If the monster took hold of this treasure and defeated us, wouldn't that ruin the whole thing? I was just thinking that in case we can't overpower him, we might as well go ahead and make the first move. You and I will go steal that thing. Wouldn't that be nice?" Bajie said, "Big brother, you are talking me into becoming a thief. I can take part in this business of yours if it's the real deal, but I have to make things clear with you. Once we have stolen the treasure and beaten the monster, I will have no patience for any talk of sharing the thing. I will take it for myself." Xingzhe asked, "For what reason?" Bajie answered, "I'm not lovable and charismatic like you, who can get a vegetarian meal out of people. Old Bull has a clumsy body and my language is coarse. I can't chant any scriptures. If we get to a point where we can't survive, wouldn't that treasure be enough to exchange for a vegetarian meal?" Xingzhe said, "Elder Sun only wants fame. I desire no treasure. You can have it, no problem." The fool heard that the treasure would be his, so he rolled over with a heart full of delight. He got dressed and headed out with Xingzhe. This truly was, clear wine can redden the face, gold can move a cultivating heart. The pair discreetly opened the door and slipped away from Sanzang before unleashing auspicious light to head straight to the city.